Welcome to the Money Collective podcast. We're here to uplift your financial well-being. Your hosts are me, Mel Pearce, and Darlene New. We are the co-founders of the Money Collective, and together we have over 50 years of finance and banking experience. We provide the tools, information and guidance to better understand your money and feel confident making money decisions. How you doing? Welcome back to episode 7 of our Financial Wellbeing podcast.
That's right.
I'm Mel and this is Darlene.
I am. And we care about financial well-being and money, and really life, not money.
I care about money.
Yeah, well, actually, that is a question. We could do a whole podcast on it. You know, do we actually care about money?
I care about money.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really interesting, isn't it, though? Because when I say that, I just think about all the things I want to do in my life.
I think about if we put
I just think about experiences.
Exactly.
I care about that.
Because it's what...
But why should we be ashamed of saying we care about money?
It's a good question. Because I think if we put that out to the audience and to everybody, and please, if you're listening, you know, let us know...
Do you care about money?
Do you care about money? And just yes or no.
Do you care about money?
I reckon it would be a profounding yes. And if I'm truly honest, yes, because it's what choice it gives me in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know that it's important because we've dedicated our lives to helping people with it.
Education
I think
around
it's
it.
obvious, our answer.
Yeah, it doesn't come from a materialism point of view. Maybe that's why I hesitate.
But it is a little bit.
That's what it is.
We are. Because, well, our truth this morning is all about makeup. And that's pretty materialistic and superficial.
Yep. So, yeah, we're going to talk about a truth today. And Mel and I both have teenage daughters.
We do.
So we talk about this actually a lot.
My lovely daughter's Tilly, is 14. Yeah.
And Lily is 12, going on 13.
Yeah.
And they care a lot about makeup.
Yes, they do. And they're very good at it.
Much better than me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going out tonight, so Tilly gave me a demonstration last night. I said,
okay.
Yeah, she's so much better. And then I'd been using this mineral powder on my face. And she said, bring your makeup over. And she said, do not use this. I've been using it every day. I've been looking crap. And she said, yeah, just put that one away.
No.
Don't need to do that. But she knows how it all works. And she's got her little kit. So Tilly's bedroom is set up around a makeup desk that she calls her vanity.
Yep.
I love that word.
Do you?
Your vanity.
Very old-fashioned.
Very old-fashioned.
Lily talks about a vanity as well.
She has a vanity as well.
Loves the vanity.
It is for your vanity, and she needs good light, and it's all set up. So this is not a workstation. She doesn't have a desk for homework.
Same deal. It was supposed to be a desk for homework, but it's now vanity.
No. I've given up. I even bought this one for the sole purpose of housing her makeup, and she's got like little stations of brushes and things.
And compartments and containers. Yes. Yeah, and we've got a little fridge with a mirror on the front with lights.
So this ranks very high in the priority of life of making sure there's enough time before school to get ready and any other time that she needs to leave the house.
Yep.
Which is terrible.
Yep.
Anyway, I shouldn't say it's terrible. Is it terrible? It is what it is. It is.
And how does this link to money, we might ask?
Well, makeup's expensive.
Oh my gosh, I wish I owned a Mecca store.
Do you?
And Mecca and Sephora are my daughter's favourite places on earth. And she could waste hours and hours in there.
So you say the words Mecca, and I've like never set foot in one, and it makes me shut up, like inside.
Oh my gosh, we've had like excursions, like Lily's had friends over and they say, can we pop down and go to Mecca? And that's their afternoon excursion. They don't buy anything, they just go and try everything and come out of there. On saying that managing, you know, teenage daughters and makeup, and even, you know, what happens to us. So we are doing this podcast and, you know, Lily's been at me and said, oh, no, your makeup, it's not good, it's terrible. Because I haven't really cared about makeup. I've probably never spent very much money. I've never learned how to do it. Because I really want to be real and vulnerable.
It's not high on our value what we look like.
Exactly. But when you've got teenage daughters saying that, it does become higher on our value.
This is a video podcast, by the way, for anyone listening in who wants to see what we look like. You're more than welcome to watch the video cast of this.
That's right. It's very true.
Nothing to hide here.
Coming back to our truth and money, so my daughter Lily's been on me for weeks and weeks and weeks about doing something about my makeup. So last weekend I folded and we went down to Mecca. And they have people in Mecca who do your face. How many layers of stuff can you put on your face? Just saying.
How many, darling, do you now put on your face?
Oh my gosh. It's
like 8, can I guess? Is there 8 layers?
It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it is 8. How did you know that? Anyway.
Yes.
Anyway.
My daughter probably has the same routine.
I know. It's foundation and layers of
it's the toning
stuff.
And the moisturising
concealing
and the priming and the setting.
The setting. I didn't even know that was a thing until the so we did all this stuff. But I spent $500.
How did that make you feel,
Not
young
good.
lady?
Not good. So I'm still scarred. And obviously that's more money than I've ever spent in my life, probably, on makeup.
Combined? No.
No, that's a stretch, right? But I've never only just bought from the supermarket. I've never spent.
You are
a lot
looking
of
good.
money.
I have to say, I can see you've stepped up the game.
You can tell when Lily does it and I do it. I did do it today. I was a bit rushed, so probably not great. But when Lily does it, people say, "Well, your makeup looks good."
This is so deep because, I do look at you and I go, "Oh, right, I need to step up my game." Like, I can tell that's looking really good. Like, it looks natural, glossy, glowy, dewy.
Yeah.
Looking lovely.
Oh my gosh.
So in that way you can go, that's well, I actually have the jealousy pangs. Like, it's that how we look at other people and we go compare, I want what she's having.
Yeah.
And so that's, in the last episode we talked about values and is that my value? This is not either of our highest values.
It's not.
But how easy is it to go down a train line and not get off?
Well, I think it's
once you commit to something, it's almost like maintaining a standard. Makeup's an example of that.
Definitely. And we've been, because we're now doing this work and, the podcast and...
We're going to be famous, have a profile everywhere.
That's right. And we're going into corporate organisations. We're doing a lot of digital, online work. And you look at yourself, when you're doing these things and again, society is very judgmental. Everybody judge you, so then you come back to...
that we're more judgmental on ourselves.
Totally. And then what do we want to teach our daughters? Anyway, and we talk about this is money, but it is who we are. And, if we look deep and the message, to the audience is really think about where that money goes and where you value it or not. And definitely no science or perfection.
Do you regret the spend?
Good question, because I don't think I do regret it. I
got the jealousy pang again.
If it lasts, so Lily assures me it'll last me for a long time. I'm saying it better.
6 months, 12
in my
months.
head, a long time is at least a year.
Okay.
If that makeup were, if I've gone through it all and I have to go back with it, I won't be happy. So if it's a year's worth and, I still don't like how long I do it really fast. Like, she does it takes too long. I don't want to spend that time doing it. But all in all, feedback's been good.
I'm going to be reborn a man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because they wouldn't rate it, would they? Or some guys might. Yeah, so
some guys are actually. I do love the old Harry Styles trend coming out, where men can be more feminine. I find that's the sexiest thing going around. Anyway.
Love that. Yeah, I love that too. But I look, our daughters and where they get the money, because this is where Lily wants to send the money, all the time. So, do you give your kids or your daughter's, allowances to this, because the makeup they're not cheap.
No. So I give Tilly $20 a week for things. The primary purpose was so that she could eat lunch at work.
At school.
She doesn't go to work. At school. And not be hungry. Yeah, anyway. And apparently, this is a whole other thing.
Hungry and look good, I bet.
Apparently, there's another girl getting $40 a week. So I'm like totally being povo and being compared to another.
Yeah, it's inflation.
It's
school
so the $20 needs to get her through food and makeup. Anyway, she's surviving.
Oh my gosh. So actually, I do have a little bit to add to my Mecca story in that because I spend so much money. Very clever marketing people, and you level up. It's not even called levels. You level up. So
like literally, they use that term, level up.
So you can get to, I don't know how many levels. So I'm not even going to guess. I'm going to say 9 or 10, but I really don't know. There's lots of levels. So Lily moved. She leveled up from level 1 to level 2 because I spent the money, I put it on her, card or whatever.
Yes.
So she got points so anyway, she leveled up. So she got an email from them to say, you get a free, box of goodies. You can either go into the store and collect them, or you can buy something online.
And they'll be delivered with
it'll
the purchase.
Come, right? So went in to pick it up because I said it's not free. So having the conversation with her about it actually not being free, that has got a lot of leverage. Around my dinner table, my son, my husband, even with other people came on the weekend. Everyone was talking about it and trying to explain to her.
Can we all just be ugly?
Not free. But went into the store, out of stock. Conveniently, right?
Okay.
So then she come home, she said, I need the gift, and it's a surprise gift. You don't even know what's in it. And I said, well, I'm not paying to buy something online. You're going to have to use your money and your savings to do that. So, and if you spend $25, you don't pay for shipping. So she found something, it was $20 and it was $24. So she was $1 short. And it still had, I said, you have to find the cheapest thing and add to it, or some face mask or something.
Yes.
So it's a couple of dollars to get her over that, to get the free. She gave me the cash. And then, we've made the order.
I am just like, my brain is going around. It's like I am in some sort of like water turbine tunnel whirlwind.
Yeah.
My brain's blown.
I know.
I'm not going to Mecca now. I was like going to go in. I was like jealous of your face, and now I'm not doing it.
Don't go somewhere else. I'm sure there's plenty of organic, healthy things you can put on your face. So, but what I would say is that I'll make a note for a future topic that we do, because those marketing activities, thinking about, all of you out there that might be online shoppers, and, are you enticed? To buy those things, and are they of value, or are you buying things you don't need just to get something
makes me think of what we talked about in the last episode again and again, your vision. So be clear on your vision. If you don't have a very clear vision, goals, purpose for your own life, then all that marketing, they're going to swoop in and your life is going to be swept away.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is doing it, and when we look left and right, we're not running our own race anymore.
Exactly.
And it's really hard to stay in your own lane and be proud of who you are.
It really is, and we get challenged, I think, all the time. And it's the same thing about this makeup that we're just talking. I think if we weren't, doing the podcast and events and speaking and stuff like that, I don't think I would have gone there.
Yeah.
But because our girls and our kids are on social media all the time, they really care about this stuff.
They do.
Whether it's a trend or it's more than a trend, I'm not sure,
so
but it's huge.
Yeah.
Anyway, ponder all that. Love to hear your comments and your
One
theories.
day we can just be an old man and once again and stand up, and we could do public speaking in a podcast without makeup on, darling.
Okay, I don't know whether we've talked about this before, but Mel loves Taylor Swift. So
I do love Tay-Tay.
Yeah. What's the song?
Which one?
I'm a Man.
The Man.
The Man. Yeah.
It's a great song. And that would be okay for me to do.
Every conquest I had made would make me more of a boss to you. I'd be a fearless leader. I'd be an alpha type. When everyone believes ya, what's that like? I'm so sick of running as fast as I can. Wondering if I'd get there quicker if I was a man. And I'm so sick of them coming at me again. 'Cause if I was a man, then I'd be the man.
Now that we're back from the man, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about your money story.
What's my
money
story or your money story?
What is a money story, Mel?
Oh my gosh. Okay, your money story is what you believe around money. What are your beliefs? What do you believe to be true? What are those things that you're saying to yourself all the time? And they're probably things that you learnt from your parents.
Most likely, but from your life to now, different things might have happened to have developed your money story.
Well, basically, since you were a small child, you've seen things, how your parents handled money or whatever your living situation was, how things came to be, what you could have, what you couldn't have, how much your parents saved or didn't save, what the things that you had in your life have all formed, and the things that you were told, money doesn't grow on trees, you can have this, you can't have this.
Yeah.
Me and Darlene have got very different money stories.
And every money story, I suspect, there'll be stuff that's serving you and there's stuff that's not. And it doesn't matter how much money you had in your family or not. No. There always is trade-off and consequences, to your belief system. And, the other thing, in the work that we do, you can have brothers and sisters and their money stories can be completely different to yours.
Yep.
So
because our psychology is different and we inherit these things, it's all subconscious.
Yeah.
And we inherit our money stories from other people. And we, like I said, it's very subconscious. They're coming into us all the time. They're forming how we think and behave and believe things to be true.
Yep.
And it's not just our parents, it's good and bad experiences we've had with money. So you could probably think of something a bad decision you made about money, which has then formed a belief around how you won't do that ever again.
That's right.
Or how you're bad, or we have relationships with other people and we see how our friends or our our lovers behave with money and how those relationships impact us. But the truth is that is not the truth.
No.
It's not who you are. These are just external things which, if we're not aware of them or thinking about them, are going to control our lives. And we can rewrite this. We can undo it. We can say, it comes back to that vision again. Yep. What is my vision for my life? What do I want to believe? Because those beliefs are no longer serving me.
Exactly. And all those experience and pictures and, things, how did you, if you come back to family, like, was there a lot of money? Did you get everything you wanted? Did you have to save something first? Every part of life. And
I was never taught how to save for money. It was how could you earn money and how could you work hard, that you will reap the benefits if you do work hard in life.
Did people talk about money in your house? Like the dinner table?
Yeah, we were, because we had feast and famine, I feel like. My dad has always been in banking and finance as well, and so, but then he was self-employed, so it'd be good times and tough times. So when we had lots of money, we could spend it, and that was great, and we were the richest people around. And I'm sure that my friends were jealous. In fact, I know they were, that we could have things, and one of my friends always commented on, "Oh, you always get the presents that I want." And I didn't even want them, and I was receiving them. But then when it was tough times, it was, we just couldn't do anything. We couldn't. I remember lunch orders, like we can't afford that, or but my parents would freely give what they had when they had it, I felt. So then there wasn't that savings thing. So I never got the sense that we were saved. It was always in the moment, but not long term. And that in my adulthood has actually given me a lot of fear. The fact that I won't be able to save or reach my long-term goals. Yeah. So they were just trying to help us and give us everything because we were the most important. But now I've got that fear that I'm a failure, or I will fail, or it won't end up well.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, you know, if you then go back a generation, you'll say, well, why did they behave with money like they did? And that's passed that on to you.
Exactly.
So
right.
Why do you think they did that?
Well, so my mum didn't have anything growing up, and all she wanted for was, well, the basics and an education, and she had to get herself to school, buy her own school books. She was living independently at the age of 16, and I know that she made a decision at that time that she would make sure her children had the best education possible, and I didn't want what she wanted for me, and so I had every capability, and I'm like, I didn't want to do what she wanted me to do, like with university and things like that. But yeah, that was that from her. And then my dad, he was a migrant, came with nothing. Like, his family didn't even own a car, and his dad hitchhiked to work and had that really strong work ethic. But I think my dad has always said you can't take it with you, you know? So like, if you've got it, spend it and enjoy it. Like, he's got that joyful sense of living a good life now.
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong. Everybody wants to think of money or money stories as right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. It's just being aware and being able to see, you know, where that comes from. And the reason that's important is because think about the way you're behaving with money in your family if you've got children. And I've talked about this in previous episodes, but what are their money beliefs? Like, what are you instilling in them and their thoughts about money?
That's right.
Because they'll make their own stories up, as I just talked about.
That's right. So I think the best thing to be, and the way to combat that, is be honest and be transparent about money and your situation, how much you have, why you're making the decisions that you can. And if you're having values-based conversations all the time, it's because we want to go on this family holiday that's why we can't do it. That's the thing for us at the moment. I've spoken about that before. Like, we can't have big birthday parties or lots of gift giving because we're working towards something else.
I also think, you know, being really vulnerable and, you know, talking about even the nuts and bolts about money, even, you know, the physical numbers or, you know, assets, liabilities, you know, how much money you have or you don't have, or what are your priorities, you earn, all of the things. It's really good bonding with your kids too, you know, in a lot of workshops we do. The most common thing, and when people grow up, and it was certainly like this in my household, money was talked about every day, but not from a sense of your personal situation, like, you know, how much money do we have, you know, what's the monthly income coming into the house, you know. We knew what assets, though. Assets were definitely talked about, and debt was bad. How much they were worth. So you knew how much your house was worth and how much your cars were worth. Knew all those things. But I was saying a lot of workshops and that we do. The most common thing that I think we do as parents is we don't talk about our money with our kids. And so much feedback I've had through doing the work that we do. People wished they had learned more from their parents, because then they could make, you know, decisions on what works and what doesn't. But I think there is a side benefit of bonding and to be honest, there's no way you can actually save your children, really. Like, we're gonna, because that's our humanness, this subconscious that we don't have control over. They're going to absorb what they want to, and what, regardless of what we do. So we can try our best and we can help them, and open and honest communication is the way to go. But we always, at the end of the day, need to decide for ourselves what we want our reality to be. And one of the most powerful things you can do, and if you just walk away with one action today, is to go away and at some point write your money story. Writing it down, I've done this recently with my own, and it's super, super powerful, because I think when you write something down, you actually absorb it better. You see it in a different way, maybe in a different light. So I've found that super powerful, and I've certainly changed some of my behaviours since doing that So my money story is I grew up on a farm in Tasmania, actually, which I love, and I love the land. So it's given me some great things. But in farming, particularly being a young girl growing up in a farming environment, girls don't get the land, they go and get married. And so I always felt inferior just because of my gender around money and what I was entitled to or what I should want out of money. So I grew up in a household where women normally want material things, and guys build the wealth and the security and that sort of thing. I grew up in a loving family. Money was talked about, and we definitely talked about assets and numbers and wealth. The common sayings were save for a rainy day, put money away because there'll be bad times coming, and they all sound like really good things, but all the things that I learned around money and really how it's played out in my life is that I have spent my life trying to be an equal with my dad around money or above, show him that I can do better. Really it's not about things at all, but it's really just him. I wanted him to see me as an equal. But I only really realised that of recent times from writing down my money story and being able to let some of that stuff go and now run my own money story.
Yeah. Come back to your own vision and purpose for your own life.
Not the vision of the family or the belief system.
You're the belief that you have about somebody else who it's probably not even his beliefs. Like,
no, not at all.
We make this stuff up in our heads.
He wouldn't have thought this at all ever. But I've bought family land. I bought it with my own money because I had to have it, but I don't even want it. So I'm selling that at the moment, actually. But
she's selling everything because she's realised that it doesn't align to what she actually wants in life, and she's done everything for the wrong reasons or that aren't aligned.
Life energy spending money where I don't want it, or trying to build wealth that I don't even.
And working in banks and working in finance,
and I work in numbers
to prove and know everything that you can possibly know about finance.
Exactly.
We're lucky that you have.
Oh my God! And I love what I do, and I suppose through anything we do, we want to. I want my purpose and my why is I want to pass knowledge on, and this is just what I know. So I think, these things aren't obvious, is what I've learned. Like, you'll be going along, and all this for me is in my subconscious. I didn't join all those dots till recently, and I've written it down, but I've lived that life subconsciously. And
made decisions based on it. Yeah, big decisions.
Yeah, it's just not been in the forefront of the reasons until I've unpacked that. So I think money stories are the most powerful thing that you can actually do. So don't give it lip service, write it down. And you might do it a lot over time till you really get understand.
And what it does is it brings awareness to your everyday life to go, well, hey, why am I saying yes or no to something?
Yeah.
Because is it what I believe, or is it this is the belief? Because you obviously believe it to be true, but is it what you want to be believing? And where does that belief come from? Yeah, we question everything, and I can't believe how much you just had the light bulbs go on, and you're changing everything. You're like, oh my God, I have done all of this to prove something to my dad, and I haven't done any of these things for me.
No, I haven't, and I've had a partner that's gone along with it, and I suppose it sounded good, and it's trying to but it's too much energy and effort. It's just not what I value. No.
I'm so amazing.
Dear. So I would absolutely encourage you to, put some thought into it, and you might go surface, and over time, write it down and see if you have any light bulb moments, because until you do that, and then you won't know if it's serving you or not, and then you can make changes if you need to or want to, or, own what you love about it too.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Yeah. Money stories, and we have a question from the audience.
We do, which has come up a little bit as to whether you should consolidate debt. So I've actually had a couple of clients who have got some accumulated debts for different things. Some of it's been business debt. Some people have got I've got somebody who's got a holiday debt with a holiday company. I've got somebody with that person's also like a novated lease and a credit card. So if you have some of these things, the question is, do I pay them all out and put them all together into one payment?
Consolidate them.
Or do I keep them all as separate and just keep paying?
Yeah, that's it. And there is no clear answer. It's everybody's situation is different, and you would need to have a look at your individual situation to decide. But things to consider whether or not it's good for you. One would be your cash flow position. So understand your income minus your expenses.
Like, how's the pain threshold really is what you're saying. Is life really tough right now and you got any money left over?
That's right.
What are we working with? Like, if you're feeling the pain, you've got all these liabilities, then maybe putting into one loan might help. It's going to free up and it's going to let you actually maybe keep your house, because and not default on some of these loans. But it's not a great strategy just to do that in a whim, because some of those loans might be over a short period of time, like 5 years or even shorter, so it means if you were able to maintain the repayments on them, they're going to be paid off much sooner. Whereas if you put in a home loan, that could be going back out over 30 years and you will pay more in the long term.
A lot more interest.
So if you what we don't want to be doing is in that situation where we just keep putting our debts together, making the smaller payments smaller and then accumulating more consumer debt, because that perpetuates the problem, and you will get to an end. There will be a threshold where you can no longer maintain that and the whole system will burst and you're not creating any asset for your future.
That's right. I mean, if you are consolidating and you have a house with some equity so you can actually add it to the home loan, you are reducing how much equity or ownership you have on the house. So
it impacts you in the long term.
Yeah. So, but it depends on what problem that you're really solving for, and it could be a strategy for a part, some of your longer term solution. It could be a short term strategy for a longer term solution. But that's where you've got to, I come back, listen to our previous episode on the 8 steps to financial wellbeing, because you really need to step through those first, which will help you understand whether the consolidation's a good decision for you or not. Yeah.
Very good. Well, and just before we finish up, we're going to leave you with a pondering question, because and it's around mortgage broking. So if you have a mortgage broker, what do you value out of that mortgage broking relationship?
Please let us know. Yeah. Yep. And if you don't have a mortgage broker, also really interested to know, why not? That would be good to understand too. Great.
Well, thanks for listening along, and we'll see you next time for episode 8.
At The Money Collective, we provide financial wellbeing premium coaching, mortgage broking and workplace financial wellbeing programs, which we couldn't do without the seamless support of our fabulous team.
If you'd like to find out more, head to themoneycollective.com.au or our socials to take action and engage our services. In our Facebook group, join the conversation and help us break down the taboo around money.
All content in this podcast is for educational purposes only and is general in nature. For tailored personal advice, please seek out a professional.